Assalamualaikum guys.
So
We're gonna do story time, which is
Yeah.
a bunch of different stories together because I know
Yeah.
you guys like the stories, and we've had a lot of crazy childhood memories and
Yeah.
like
And
bullies and like
teenhood memories.
yes,
Yeah.
just a lot of that. So take it away, Nishio.
basically, we were all we didn't want to go, but we were all forced to go to Ocean City, like, because my mom just wanted to go because she was like, oh, like, I'm always at home, I want to do something, whatever. She's like, my friends are gonna be there, blah blah blah, let's go. So my dad gets all of us in the car, and we're like driving hours or whatever. We go to Ocean City, and then we're like, all right, we're here, like, go call your friends, whatever. My poor mother, she basically got ditched.
No, remember we went so freaking early.
Oh yeah, so early. My mom is like
so early. She's like, no, don't let me hit now.
I
And
know,
I was
like, this Bobby's gonna be here. I have to show up. Blah blah blah.
No.
She yelled at us for
Dude,
hours.
she called them. She called them and was like, where are you? Oh, we didn't even leave the house yet.
I'm like, Mom, you got us up at like 6 a.m.
And so we were sleeping in the freaking car
Oh my
for
God.
hours and hours
Oh my.
waiting because I told them, like, you need to book before we get there. It's like 4th of
Yeah,
July.
Yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah, 4th of July. It was the 4th of July.
And we need to like book it before we go there. We couldn't find any hotel, and then like mom's like, no, don't worry, this Bobby, she has hotel room for us, and we're like, okay, whatever you say. And like 4 or 5 hours pass, she calls her finally.
We're all sitting in the car sweating.
Sweating,
by
she
the
goes,
way.
After she yelled for 4 hours.
Yeah, she yelled at us.
She
for
yelled at all of us
Tuesday.
because she's like, you don't want me to be happy, blah
Yeah,
blah
yeah,
blah.
all this
But
stuff.
what ends up happening is that those aunties end up ditching my mom, and
No,
then
she calls her and goes like, where are you? I've been waiting for you. And she's like, oh, Bhabhi, just, you know what? Like, I brought my other family members. We already have a room. So, like, I'll see you at a different time. Like, we'll meet up.
like completely ditched my mom, and like,
Yeah.
so my mom was like super pissed, and then that day we ended up driving back home, and the same day, and I kind of
It's a
felt really
really
bad.
long
No,
drive
but
too.
it's
I felt
sad
so
because
bad for
I
Mom.
now I understand how she felt because
Being-
we
yeah,
all go through
betrayed
that.
by a friend.
We've all been
Betrayed.
in that
Yeah.
situation where a friend has faked on us.
Or
so I
ditched.
totally feel for my
My
mom.
brother,
True.
as he was growing up, like, okay, so you know how like when you're growing up, certain facial features don't fit with your face just yet. So like at that time, my brother was made fun of for having a big nose, but obviously now he looks amazing. And so, but he was a ladies' man too, low key, and he didn't even notice that. But yeah, so many people
Yeah,
told my
a lot
brother,
of girls
liked him.
No, there was a fan club of all these.
Oh,
Remember? We went back and Albie. I'm like,
I mean
Wait,
that's why everyone made fun of me because I got all their girls. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
true.
We were all outside, and then I think we were jump roping or something, and then
By the way, before he goes into it, I just want to say that he had a reputation where people would be like, "Oh, he's such a girl," and
Like,
he
he's
would say,
so weak and
he's
stuff.
so
That
weak.
time he
Because
didn't develop muscle.
I was the person. Not even that. Like he was 8 years old, and like
They is mad because I beat their butts up.
I
and I still,
You're skipping to the
I
story.
know. Stop! You're ruining it.
no, I'm saying, look, just because I played with Barbie doll when I was a child, hopefully I
So
can't beat
that
your
was the
ass.
thing. Nishia was normal, but I was the one that always played sports, always outside chilling with boys, and he and not in that host way. Like I was chilling with boys in the sports way, and
16.
shut up, no, seriously, I
No, but
wasn't.
so many uncles made you out to be a hoe because
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
oh, do you know your daughter plays with boys outside? Plays with boys outside? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then my mom and dad would get so mad, like, remember it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
takataki korechu.
Yeah, like touching and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like at that time I couldn't even get a guy even if I paid him because that's how unattractive. Trust me, no matter what I did, no guy would ever like me then. But it's just like my parents, like everybody.
She was like
unattractive.
sunburnt, like
I was sunburnt.
really burnt.
That's all I would do is play.
Like it's not even a nice tan.
And he would play. He'd be just at home playing video games or
When
like
he was younger,
playing
he
with
would play
Barbie.
with Barbie.
No, but my
Yeah.
Barbie, it was very
He would
violent.
steal
though.
our clothes.
No,
and
it
dress
was
it.
actually that was the sick part. It was really violent. Like he would like take all their clothes off and then rip
Their
the head
heads
off.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, neck down, you know what I'm saying?
You objectified
I
women
know.
already.
Okay, so Steve told me, like we were playing something, and then Steve said, oh, this friend said this about you, right? And then he would go to that other friend and say, oh, Albie said this about you, right? And then later, that same day, me and that friend met up, and we realized Steve was lying. And so I was a very
You know what's
violent
funny?
kid.
Steve's father was a liar too. Just gonna throw that out there. Okay,
Yeah,
it's in the genetic.
So then Steve, I forgot, so obviously I was angry from that point on, and so Steve, we were playing a game, and he basically like cheated or something, and I got so mad, I beat him up Like,
and again, my brother, like people would like look
Bully
at my
him
brother.
too.
No, they would look at my brother and be like, "Oh, he's so weak" or whatever. But when he got mad, he beat the crap out of this
Bro,
Steve boy.
he took a brick and smashed his head against it.
okay, let's not go into detail.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
then what
God.
happens is that my mom finds out and says,
No,
like,
she doesn't even know. He just comes in. He doesn't even inform us. I don't think he even informed us.
Yeah.
He's acting like playing his video games like I just beat a boy up. Like
He's like, I want
nobody
the blood
knows.
stain off.
And then out of nowhere, the thing is like we knew that Alvi would kind of be bullied, in our neighborhood for being
but I
that
would take
way.
care of it.
But like the thing is like he didn't go outside much, so whenever he did, he would get bullied. So
I
we
made a name
were
for
all
myself.
aware of this. So then when out of nowhere we get a ring in the doorbell, and my mom answers it, and it's Steve's mother, and Steve with his bloody forehead.
"Oh my god, I remember that."
Oh my
day.
God.
Talk shit, get hit. that was the saying back when we were kids.
Actually, we grew up in a like.
So he comes
violent
with his
neighborhood.
bloody forehead. Mama, he beat me. And like the mom starts cussing at my mom, and he's like, "Your son is this, your son is that." Blah, 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 blah. And mom's like, "Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, I got that. I understand it." And then when he shuts the door,
And then turns around to Albie's like,
Good job.
Self-defense, good job.
And that's the thing. Tell them what mom taught us when we were young.
If somebody hits you, hit them twice as hard.
You botched it.
That's what we're nice people, but once you F with us, we
Yeah.
go ahead. That's mama's teaching.
And that's the thing, we have chill parents in the sense, like, they're not the kind of person that they're gonna yell at us for fighting because they know we're not the type to go out and look for fights. Like,
No.
Even
if
though,
someone hits
even
us,
though at that point I did take it into my own hands. That was different.
yeah, and like they sent us all into karate too, so we did
Oh
karate.
yeah.
Oh.
Let's talk about karate stories.
Okay, like
Okay,
what?
first of all, I didn't even know this, but I feel like when I was in middle school, I had some kind of anger problem, like built
Me
up.
too,
Yeah,
all of
okay.
us, all of us.
And I would let it out when it came to sparring,
Yeah.
right? So
Oh my
much
God.
so that the instructor had to be like, "Nash, control the power." Like every time. Remember, he would always say that. And this one time, this girl, she like accidentally, we were sparring and stuff like that, and she accidentally hit my shin. Yo, I accidentally slayed her life.
And then the teacher was like, Manisha, watch the power.
Oh, I did not watch the power then.
When she gets smashed, like,
Yeah, he like watched the power.
No, and then actually there was this other time that I beat the crap out of this black belt. Hearing this before I sparred the black belt, I was like, hey, like, if Nash's power gets a little bit too much, make sure to put her in her place. It was a dude, by the way. And I was like, put me in my place. I'm gonna put you in your place. So when we fought,
dominant woman right
I literally beat his butt. And yeah, I don't think
And like I guess even till this day, like our teacher, like apparently told a lot of his students like, yo, like I had 3 siblings and all 3 of them fight like a black belt, even though we ended up in like a red belt, right? We quit.
It was like something about.
Remember we went to Trader Joe's and one of our like former karate instructor
yeah.
guys, whatever. He was like, "You 3 were a legacy, man." Like,
Yeah.
all of our
Our teacher
instructors.
would always talk about you guys being the best fighters. And
I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just our genetics or just
anger.
anger. We grew up in a very ghetto neighborhood.
Yeah, but I didn't even know that though.
I didn't either. I thought it was safe, but it actually wasn't. Like we had rapists. We had
Yeah,
kidnappers.
gangsters.
That's why it explains why the cops are always there, and
Yeah.
they're still there.
Yeah, they're still there. So like when people are like, why y'all talking like slang? Like, well, y'all, like, okay, but it's the environment. It's the
Why did she
environment.
say that? That's not slang. That's a kid line. It's like.
I don't even understand that.
Oh, but like we grew up in a pretty ghetto place. Our high school was so ghetto. No, I remember middle school was so ghetto. We had no ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we only had the pipelines. That's all you could see. And
Is it trailers?
and
I had trailers. I used to go out.
yo, we used to have trailers, not classroom, trailer. Like trailer parks where people
Like
live in.
you were-
That's what we were doing. So during my bullying days, though, like oh my, I was telling Alvi, like
I didn't know some of them.
so I was like, I've had a lot of bad experience with men. So like one of them was like I remember in math class. So I was like the nerd there, even though I was always younger. No, I think
Are you
this.
gonna tell this story?
Yeah, I think this was actually in high school. Like I was a freshman, and you get schooled with like a bunch of other like older ones, like sophomores, and like you know what I mean. So I think it was an algebra class, and like I was like a know-it-all, but I would never talk because I was always shy. So whenever the teacher didn't know, like if no one would be able to answer the question, she'd be like, "Oh, Monica, just tell me the answer," so I'd tell them. So basically, students around me knew that, and so this one guy, he wanted to know the answer to this one question, and he touched me on the side of my chest, like, "Hey, hey, like, and he's literally, he knows what he's touching, and yeah, he knows what he's touching.
That's sexual harassment.
It is. And he's like, tell me, I'm like, stop. Like, I was a little scared. And then he goes like, he's like, tell me the answer. And the thing is, like, they were like, low-key had like a bully vibe and stuff like too. So, and they were known to being people not to mess with. I don't know. Like, I hate cheating. So I was like, I don't know. And then what happens, I go home and I'm like, Mom, this guy's touching me in an inappropriate way. Just please don't tell anybody because it was known for all of us that if you tell a counselor, you're a wuss, okay?
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, my mom don't give a damn.
And fortunately.
I guess low-key fortunately, but no, in a way, actually no, because she calls the counselor, my daughter's scared, this man touching the side of her, I don't know, but, and the counselor, like, I tell him, like, don't tell him who it is, don't, at least, at the No, I just said to the counselor, don't say it's me. Like, just do it. It was one day in class, the guy in the middle of class gets called up by a counselor, and he gets in trouble. I think he gets suspension or something. I forgot what it was. And
damn, it's closing down lives since what year was that?
Not just Instagram. That was a long time ago, man. Guy comes back and goes like, did you tell on me? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? I'm so confused. And he goes like, did you tell the counselor I was touching you? And I was like, no, what the heck? You weren't touching me. What are you talking about? I was so scared. Like, I was a nerd that looked like I was wearing the same clothes every day.
You were.
No, the thing is I would wear different shirts, but like I would wear a sweater on top all the time, so it looked like I wore the same clothes.
It was the same sweater every
same sweater every day, so I looked like I wore the same clothes all the time. And I was like really unattractive. I was just everything. So then the thing is, this guy's also friends with this other guy, and he was also a guy that was not someone to mess with. And so so next year I had that guy in my math class, and he sat behind me, and we had a weird teacher. I'm not gonna say his name, but like he would wear like high boots and like cowboy boots.
He was ahead of his time.
Remember, he would touch me like inappropriately all the time. Like, yeah, he would like touching me inappropriately. I would just call people out. Like, he doesn't hold on to people's shiz. Like, he will, So then what happened was the fact that he did not call us out would piss me off. So basically, I didn't even notice, and I was always made fun of for having thick ass, big ass hair. And this dude, I didn't even notice, but he shredded paper and put it on top of my hair. And this year, whatever his freaking pervert, his name was, he did not say crap. And everyone's looking at me laughing, and I'm like confused, like, what's going on? And so I keep walking to my next class, and everyone's like, oh, nice hair. And I'm like so confused, like, what's going on? Cause
she had like bushy hair, she would just put it on a ponytail.
Not even bushy hair, it was just so much. Like, I lost earrings in my hair before, and one of my classmates in front of me starts laughing, and he's like, I see what you see in your, I see what's on your hair. I'm like, what? And I see, like, I've been walking with, like, paper all over my head the whole time, so.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I was bullied a lot, so I
Okay, let's talk about my bullying story. So,
you bully people.
During elementary school, when it was recess time, so we'd all go out and play. So then one day I noticed this one boy, we had like balls that we were playing dodgeball with, and he would take the balls and throw them specifically at girls, right? Like trying to like
peg it at them.
Yeah. So I got mad, me being the woman empowerment, motivation, whatever. I took a ball and I hit him so hard it actually hit his male parts, okay? And he got so mad, like everyone, all the girls started laughing, everybody started laughing and stuff like that. I was like, oh, good job, Nishia, and stuff like that. And I felt really proud about myself too, because I was putting down like a stupid bully, right? But I didn't know that it would turn back around on me. So what happened was that after that situation, we were on the bus going home, and that boy was like, so before everyone was getting off and stuff like that, and then that boy stops me and he's like, you remember what you did today? Watch what I'm gonna do to you tomorrow. Like, it was a threat. I went home and I started crying to my mom, who, she was like, what? He said that? And I was like, yeah. So she ends up also calling the counselor.
Which made us look little ones.
Yeah, and she basically told
we became really cool with the counselor.
Yeah, really. The next day, I go to school and stuff. Randomly, that guy gets called away from the classroom, right? By our principal. I get called into her office, and I'm like, okay. So I get called, and as I walk in, the guy, he's told to leave the room, right? So I sit there and stuff like that, and she's like, you know, your mom called me, and we're gonna solve this together, and I'm gonna call him back into the room, and we're gonna like deal with this. And I was like, okay, like, you know, I was expecting like just like a, you know, normal like, hey, say sorry, whatever, like that. No. What happened was he was brought back in. This woman, her face got so red, and she was like, do you know what you were doing to this woman? And he was like, no. And I didn't even know. I was like, what was he doing to me? We were so innocent and stuff like that.
Mom probably a lot over, like, exaggerates. She exaggerates.
This little boy's going to rape my girl. Blah, blah, blah. Probably said something crazy, but she was screaming at this guy, and she was like, you know, you're a bully and stuff like that. You did all this to her, blah, blah, blah. Again, he said like one little threat, but again, I was the one who hit him in the balls.
As usual.
I was the one who hit him in the balls and stuff. But yet he was getting yelled at. I saw him like looking down, about to cry and everything, and she was like, look at Nishia in the face and say sorry. And he looked at me. I couldn't look at him. I was like, she's like, Nishia, please look at him. I was like, okay. And then I look at him, and then he's just like, I'm sorry. And then I'm like, I mean, I'll have to think about it. It kind of like, you know, scarred me. But I have to think about it. Ever since that day, he never bothered me again. And then I became a patrol, so I had like false power. So when I was
We all did.
yeah, it was a false sense of power. So I was in the bus, and he was there, and I was like, hey, turn around. And he would be so submissive, and he would just turn around like, okay, like he would never bother
Back to the
me again.
dominance. Start.
When I was growing up, like, okay, so at a point in our lives, we were like in Bangladesh for like maybe almost like a very long couple of months, you know, because my dad was like trying to figure things out in America. And basically, okay, so then we finally came back to America, and basically they all thought that we were like foreigners that don't know how to speak English, and so yeah, and so then, you know, the teacher was like, this is Monica. Like, they talked to me really slowly and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, this is all weird. So this is first grade back in elementary school that I used to be in, and I loved that elementary school. And when I was always a new kid in a lot of my schools, and so then when I was introduced, this is in first grade. The main kid there, she was like Hispanic, and she was like telling all the girls in that room, don't be friends with her, I don't like her and stuff. So when I go to recess, I'm by myself, I'm just swinging, and all the girls would tell me, yeah, like, no, we're not gonna be your friend because so and so said we can't, like, you know, we shouldn't be your friend, you're not cool, blah blah. Okay, and then this other time, so they were still like, you know, making fun of me and stuff like that. And then, you know how we kind of daze off, and sometimes we start singing songs. So
That's just you.
Okay, that's just me. So then one day we were like, I think in a line, and we're walking somewhere, and I started singing the Barney song, and all the girls started like making fun of me, and like she's singing Barney song. She's supposed to be grown. She's like, you know, what is she doing singing Barney song?
And you guys were first graders.
First graders.
And we're supposed to be grown in first grade.
Like, how are you like 6 years old, right? You're like 6, 7 years old when you're first grade.
At that age, everyone watching Barney, but they lying.
Yeah. And so I was
Now
singing that
it's so
song.
cool.
That song was lit, okay? I think it was a clean up. Clean up. Everybody clean up. Boom, boom. And they were making fun of me, and then when I got to class, I started crying, and I was like, teacher, these girls are bullying me. They don't want to be my friend, and they're making fun of me because they sing the Barney song. And
I would not be your friend.
and then they had to do a whole meeting and stuff, and they were like, why were you making fun of her for singing Barney? And I was like, yeah. And then eventually, because of that situation, the main girl that told everyone not to be my friend ended up becoming my best friend and ignored all of them. So then, like, they were no longer friends with any of them, and yeah, and then...
Do you guys remember how I got all of us in ESOL?
Oh my god.
So
I remember
I
that.
thought, when I was younger, I thought ESOL was like the club for the cool kids, right? Because so many kids would just disappear from class like, hey, we gotta go to ESOL. And I'm like, oh my god,
Cool.
I want to be in that club, right? So then what happens is that I go up to the teacher and I'm like, hey, how does one qualify for ESOL, right? She's like, oh, you only go into ESOL if English is not the only language you speak. I'm like, well, I speak Bengali, Gamo Nacho. And then she's like, wait, what? You speak a different language? Because I guess my English was on fleek, right? And I'm like, yeah, I do
Deported.
speak I do speak
It's like you're bilingual, like all of a sudden
Yeah.
you have a disability.
So
Like,
then
that's
I
what
was
it
like,
is.
yeah, I do speak English and stuff. She's like, are you the only one here? Or do you have siblings and stuff?
Oh.
Yeah, I do actually. I have a sister who is 1 year older than me, and then I have a brother who's like younger than me, and they all go to the same school. They're like, okay, yeah, so I guess you three should be
Out of
ESOL.
nowhere, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, and so they get taken out of their classrooms, and we all get put into ESOL. I'm like,
I know.
hi guys, I got us into ESOL.
It's so annoying because
Oh my
we
God.
were all trying so hard to get out of it.
Yeah,
Like
oh
by
my
the
Dude,
God.
you could never get out of ESOL. It was crazy.
No, but like when you were in elementary school, you were able to by the 6th grade. Like if you took this
Yeah.
exam, so like
It
I
was
passed
so
that.
dumb. It was like,
It was-
what is an apple?
You had to show a picture of an apple. Which one is an
Vita.
apple?
I remember that Vita test.
Like,
Oh
you think
my
you're so
God.
dumb. So, I remember, okay, so people, okay, especially my parents, they thought I was a slow learner. And so when I passed that ESOL exam and I went to middle school, they would not let me leave
Yeah,
ESOL.
dude, they never let you leave.
Yeah.
They never.
ESOL
And-
follows you everywhere.
No, and so then I got pissed and they're like, listen, you know, it'd be easier for you to understand English. I'm like, no, I am a smart woman. Like, don't be telling me, like, I can't do something and stuff. So I got really pissed, and the counselor came in front of my class and was like, oh, you're going to be part of ESOL because your parents said so. And this is the first time I've ever been, you know, I did not work so hard to get out of ESOL just to go back in there. And so then I was like, I'm sorry, like, I don't care what my parents have to say. I'm not joining you guys. And she's like, but your parents, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it, okay?
Yeah.
And so then after that, like, bro, like, I passed English, history, math, all of them. I was, like, one of the smartest ones, especially in math. So, yeah, booyah to that. Basically, I was a competitive girl, okay? And in 4th grade, I was also a very new student as well. And as usual, like, not a lot of people would want to be my friend. But one thing was, I was athletic, and so there was this thing called Jump Rope for Heart, which was a competition where who would see, like, who jumped rope for the longest. This year, go ahead and tell your part.
Okay, so jump rope for heart was basically you had to jump rope like as long as you could,
can,
right?
Yeah.
Bruh. I went in, and that time I was huge, right? I went in there, 2 ropes. I was like, I'm done. I am done. I couldn't, jump rope for a heart. I almost got a heart attack.
It was like so many students. It was like 50, right? Like it was
Oh, yeah,
just
so many. Like spread out.
Entire
across the
gym
Yeah.
took over. Yeah. So it ended up becoming at the end was between me and this.
Monica don't have a heart or lungs, and she has to breathe. Okay, she just kept
No,
going.
no, I was dying, but I kept going because I was not gonna lose to a boy. So he was like 5th or 6th grader boy, and I was a 4th grader girl. And so obviously for his ego, it's gonna hurt if you lose to a 4th
Don't
grader.
you love crushing men's egos?
I love it. What ends up happening between me and him, I'm still going and he's still going. And everyone's like, mainly for him because he's a popular kid who's known, whatever. I'm a person that nobody likes. And I'm going. And then at the end of the day, I won and he lost. And dude, so all the crowds are screaming and coming close. I'm thinking they're rooting for me. No! They come and tell me, you cheated, you're this and that, start making fun of me and stuff. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I did not expect that. Like, you know what I mean? I figured, like, this would make my name. Like, people know me now. But no, it's like, they bullied
Just in
me.
case you guys are wondering where I was like, okay, my 2 jump ropes are out. So I left.
So then what happened was I get to class because we get to miss middle of class and stuff. And I get to class and the prize was getting a basketball, and I love playing basketball then. And so then my teacher, and by the way, we all have that teacher that changed our lives and stuff. She was one of those teachers that changed my life.
Yeah.
So I was, as usual, bullied, and so I was legit, like, my basketball is between my legs, and I'm in the desk crying. No one even knows I'm crying, and I'm crying, and then my teacher comes.
She's like crying so many
I know, because I was crying a lot, dude, like snot and everything was coming out. And my teacher comes, and she's like, oh my god, I heard you won. And I get up, and she sees all this, like, snot, and, like, I'm, like, crying like crazy. She's like, why are you crying? And I told her, like, these girls are bullying me, for winning, being this guy and stuff. And so then she told the counselor, and everybody telling the counselor. They were like, oh yeah, okay, well, the counselor talked to the girls, and the thing was, those freaking 3 girls lived in our neighborhood, so even after I got home, I would still get bullied by them. And remember that day you said you saw me when I got out of the bus?
Oh yeah, once you got out of the bus, those 2 girls came
3
up to her.
girls.
3 girls.
Yeah, I think
No,
there's 3 of them, but
yeah, but
2
they
of
like
them lived.
surrounded her.
Yeah.
I remember this scene, and they were just like, something, like one of them said something in Spanish.
Yeah.
She's like, blah, 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 and Monica's just like there, like, oh my gosh, like she doesn't even know. And again, this is all over a freaking basketball, okay?
Or winning
So-
against a guy.
And then so then they got super mad at her. They were all up in her face, and I just remember seeing that scene when I was younger. And you were innocent, like you didn't know what the hell was going on. So
I was on the daily, kept being bullied by them, like when I was at like my neighborhood, at school, whatever. And so it got so bad to the point like I would cry. Then the counselor finally got tired of it and told them, okay, so we had a thing called field day, okay?
Oh, I miss
And
field day.
he told them that if you continue to bully Monica, you are no longer able to participate in field day. And they're like, oh my god, no. So they wrote an entire letter apologizing to me and stuff. And I like said, okay, sure, whatever. And although like I was trying to be friends with them, I felt like they were also trying to kind of turn me into a bully like them. Like, oh, like let's laugh at that kid, like to be cool with us. And at that point, I also left them. I was like, I'm not trying to be part of that. So
when I was younger, I had like Hulk strength, so I was known to beat every guy at arm wrestling. Like I was so confident, but like some guys would just come to just hold my hand, and I don't even know why because I was fat as hell.
When we were kids.
Anyways, this one guy, I remember we were at like one of those Bengali functions.
Yeah, I think I remember.
He was like, nobody can defeat me, blah, blah, blah. Like, this girl, who is this girl? Like, let me go find her. I was like, come see me. So then, again, it's like female dominance. Like, I see it when I was like little. So then I was like, yeah, I hear you talking shit. Like, what's up? Square up.
that's not how it was.
Square up. I mean, in my head it was. So then he was like, all right, like, I hear you, like, you're strong and stuff. I'm like, you hear that? Let me prove it. So sit down. So we sat down and stuff.
I remember this.
And I remember he was so confident, and then grabbed hands, and literally within like 10, 20 seconds and stuff like that, his hand was down. But I didn't even know, because he was like pissing me off so bad that I didn't even know that I hit it so badly backwards that like something in his arm cracked. So do you remember the next function afterwards? We saw him in an arm cast. And I was like, well,
You should have signed it.
I remember also being competitive, especially athletically, and in our neighborhood, dodgeball was very popular.
Oh, yes.
And I remember this one girl would always talk smack. We're really cool now, but she would always talk smack and be like, Monica's such a show off. I'm like, I'm not showing up, but it shows off that I am good. So I can't help that I'm good in beating all y'all in dodgeball. And she's like, whatever. She's talking all that smack, and she's like, I'm gonna beat her, right? So she comes, she has a ball, and she throws it at me real hard. I catch it, which obviously she's out, but I wanted to be extra petty, so I took that ball, threw it in her head, and it bounced off her head. I won.
You're a girl. But you know how like when girls, when they insult guys, it's okay, but when a guy insults a girl, it's like, oh my god, you're so mean, whatever, right? But basically, this is one of those moments. Like I'm always a joking type of person. Anyway, so she was joking. She said, your nose, blah 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 blah, right?
Oh,
And but then but by this time I was okay with it. Like we were friends. We make fun of each other. So I was like, yeah, you're an ugly hippo, right? And then everyone's laughing. I'm like, I'm not joking. Like you actually are, right? And I'm like, and I'm like, I'm trying to insult you.
This one girl that we were, and this time we were all rolling with, that
We didn't
the
like
other
so
two
much.
girls, well, we didn't like her, right? But her and this other person was like very.
They were related.
They wanted to still be nice to her and stuff like that. But I don't know how to be fake. When I was when I was younger, even now, I don't know. Like I wear my emotions on my face, right? So basically, there was this thing called Hollywood Shots, okay, in the mall, where we would go and they would take pictures of us, and like you would get printed pictures of like you and your group of friends. Yeah, but it was so cool back then, right? And that girl's cousin, who we were cool with, she was like, I don't want her in the picture and stuff like that, blah blah blah, whatever. I don't want to pay for pictures with her in it and stuff. So when she came and stuff, and she was about to come, she was gonna come and like inside, the thing, and I was like, I just turned around and I was like, hey, yeah, I don't think we want you in the picture. Like I just straight up was like, I don't think we want you. And I was like really young. Oh, by the way, this girl that who I told that we didn't want her in the picture, she was extremely rude to me, even way before. Like
even me, like she'd go tell
she
people,
has a problem with, like, the
ugly.
reason that we don't like her is because you have a reason. But I was straight up just like, we don't want you in the picture. And so we took the picture without her. So we invited her back to her house, whatever. Her cousin was somewhere else. Monica had to go upstairs to pray and stuff like that. So it was just me and her alone. And then she's like, yeah, so nice pictures. I was like, thanks. And she's like, you didn't want me in it. Why didn't you want it? I was like, because honestly, I'm not going to be like the rest of the girls who are just going to say stuff behind your back. I'm going to say it to you. We don't want you in the picture. We don't even want you in my house right now. And then she starts crying, like, super bad, and I am not made of stone. Okay, I have a heart, so I kind of started feeling bad.
But
and
you're
I'm
the one who throws the stone. The one that, which was like her relative, who was like
She was really
she
fake.
was the manipulative one that
She
made us
was-
turn that way. Cause we were,
Yeah.
I remember she would like sabotage, plan sabotage, whatever.
She hated her cousin.
Yeah, it was,
But
and
then the funny thing is, both of them are fake.
to
And
each
they're
other,
both
yeah.
fake with each other. And they're
so
both, it's just like,
they're trying
okay,
to
you know what? You guys are perfect for each other. Just stay with each
stay in
other.
your family, it's in your blood.
That's the end of our stories. Thank you.
We
for
have a lot of
tuning
more
in.
stories, but it's
Let us
ended.
know if you guys want more videos with us three in it.
Yeah, and what
enjoyed
would you want us to do or talk about or say or whatever?
Yeah. Anyways, bye.
Peace out.